Good evening, wonderful peoples and loyal citizens of Zamunda. What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good?
Hola,
Hey,
hola.
y'all. What's
How you doing?
up? So, listen, I'm so excited to have this amazing woman on here tonight with us. And before I get all into that, I'm just excited. Before I get into that, welcome to another dope episode of the Phat Girl Chronicles, where we get all up in your business and discuss the topics that matter to us the most each and every Tuesday, right here on Facebook and YouTube. And I am getting ready to make sure we go live on Instagram, y'all. I was slacking on my pimping. Slacking on my pimping. So we're gonna be live on Instagram in a few minutes, in a few seconds actually. And um so we are live, rolling, but we want to thank y'all for tuning in and joining us tonight. I'm your girl Leo Rochelle. Y'all know it's me. Y'all know what I say. Whatever you do, don't do it with your half ass, do it with your whole ass. And tonight, we're gonna talk about what that looks like when it comes to your voice. Your voice can help you get out here and do it with your whole ass, y'all. Listen, and this amazing woman that we have on the screen with us tonight, she has been doing her thing. And listen, she been teaching me some stuff. I've been learning some stuff. I've been paying attention to some stuff, all of this kind of stuff. I even took a class with her. So, y'all, introducing none other than the amazing Miss Ayana Major Bay. And listen, she got a podcast too, y'all, the Artist Pivot Podcast. And let me not forget Uncle Moses over there at the top with me. He rocking it out with me tonight up in this thing. Hey Moses.
Hi, how you doing? What's going on? What's going
Don't
on? What's
be
going
dry.
on?
Don't be
What?
dry.
I'm
Don't
trying to
be
get my. Hold on. I'm practicing my voice. I gotta save it
You
for
trying to
later.
get
I'm
it
trying to be
together?
an evil villain. Yeah, I'm trying to be an
You
evil
gotta
villain.
clear it. There you go. There you go. Get your little water. Uh-uh.
I'm gonna get you. Hold on. Hold on.
What was that? What was that laugh? Anywho, he gonna do it again. This guy.
There it is.
There it is. It worked.
She didn't even know what to say, but there it is.
It worked.
Listen. Anywho, Ayana, introduce yourself to the people's beautiful.
Hello. Hi. First of all, thank you. Thank you so much, Leo. Thank you. 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 I'm excited to be on the
Absolutely.
podcast. And hello, y'all. Hi, worlds. What's going on? I hope you're having a good Tuesday evening. Let's see a little introduction. Who am I? What am I about? What do I do? Lots of things, y'all. My name is Ayana Major Bay, and I am a multi hyphenate. I am an actress. I started in the musical theater world. Now voiceovers. Been doing that for a couple of years. I'm also a podcaster
And
and
she
a
is.
mentor, a coach. Teach some classes. All around creative. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Alrighty.
Listen, him and this voice.
I know. We're gonna get it all night,
So
aren't we?
yes,
Sticking
he's
to it.
gonna be
I got
extra
it.
all
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
He's gonna be
I
All
extra
gotta
the
stick
night.
to it.
whole
I gotta stick
time.
to it. I gotta stick to it.
So
I stick to
so
it.
listen, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit ahead of time that if you got any questions about voiceover work, narration, commercials, and all that kind of stuff, go ahead and get them ready because don't wait until the end and be trying to throw 1,001 questions at the last minute. Okay. So we definitely want all the questions, all of that good stuff. And hey, y'all over there on Instagram that have joined us. I'm sorry we was a little late, a little delayed, but hey, better late than never. I was slacking on my pimping today, but we are here. We are ready to go. So, Ayana,
Mhm.
we're going to go ahead and hop right into it. So
Let's do
when
it.
did you start? Okay, so she is multi hyphenated, as she said. She is a singing actress, not just a singer, but she's a singing actress, a voiceover artist, a podcaster, and a mentor. So how did you get started in the singing actress? How did you get started as a singing actress?
So, um, for me, I was that kid who made up stories and forced my parents and my sister to like sit in the living room and watch me. We had a little like stone, I guess like a little placard in front of our fireplace, and that was my stage. So I was that child. So my parents decided to go, okay, Anna, since you like make up stories and are so active and singing around the house, of course, I joined the church choir. And then when I was in elementary, middle school, I was in the choir, did the school musical. All of the extracurricular arts activities I was put in. I was even put in piano lessons, but I didn't practice, so my mom took me out of it. I would tell 8-year-old Ayana to practice the piano. That is one thing I would tell her. You're going to need that later in life. But then with all of that, I decided, I was like, I want to go to school for musical theater. Like that's my trajectory. So I was that kid who loved theater from a young age and was like, yeah, acting is what I want to do. Like that's what I'm going to do with my life. And did I get pushback? Of course. Of course. My parents, well, not even my parents, my
Absolutely.
father was like, so but what are you really doing? And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm going to be an actress. That's what I'm doing. So with that, I went to Montclair State University to do musical theater. I majored in musical theater there. And once I graduated, I worked for about 5 years regionally around the US. And then I decided to go back to grad school. So I went to the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland and got my master's in classical acting. So I lived in the UK for about a year and a half. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How was that experience? How was that experience?
That was incredible. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And it was one of those things that I didn't see coming, but was really perfect and like meant for me. So I was auditioning for graduate programs in the US, and you know the big ones, the Yale, the NYU, the UC Irvine, the bigger schools. And I was in one of the audition studios in New York City, and the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland happened to be there. So they do a tour, American tour, auditioning American students every like February, March. And so they happened to be there. And I was like, well, like, who are you? What's up? What's going on? Let me see what's happening. And they, described to me, we're the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland. These are the programs we have. We are, an accredited university. The US recognizes us, all of that stuff. And so I was like, well, I'll audition. Like, I already have all of my materials. I'm auditioning for all these other schools. And so I ended up auditioning and I got in. I got accepted to the Masters of Classical Acting and the Masters of Musical Theater. And I decided to do the classical acting because I already had 5 years experience in working in musical theater and my undergraduate in musical theater. So I'm like, well, why don't I
Okay.
just switch it up, and then let me do the classics. Let me do the Shakespeare and the Moliere and the Tartuffe and all of these things that I was like, I was introduced to it in college, but it was more musical theater. And so I was like, well, let me do the classics, especially since we had an internship at Shakespeare's Globe in London as a part of the program. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how I ended up in Scotland. I was auditioning for other schools and
Yes.
it was placed in my lap, and I was like, all right, thank you, Lord, let's go. And so I also got a little bit of a scholarship and then was able to take out the rest through a loan, and then I moved to Scotland.
How long were
And
you
it
out
was
there
an
for?
incredible year.
How long were you out there for? Just a year?
I was there for a year and a half. So the program itself was a year. So I came a couple months before and then left a couple months after. But it was one of those like, oh, you want to earn your master's in a year? You're going to work for it. So I was in class 6 days
Okay.
a week. Like,
Sheesh.
we were in
You was
class.
working. You was working
Yeah,
for it.
I was
That's a
working for it.
work.
Yes.
Yeah, she was working for that masters. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's first of all, that's absolutely amazing because a lot of times you don't really hear of um the journey. how people get into acting, how people get into where they're going or where they are now. And so to know that you spent a year in the UK, I'm like, oh, that sounds like, first of all, it sounds super amazing, but also the experience to add on to who you are as an actress and who you are as a person in general, but the additional push and information and the experience that you have now as an actress. That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm. Thank
dope.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
So,
Oh yes.
so
My
all right.
Go ahead.
So, oh, I'm so sorry. So
Don't be sorry.
I don't know. Let's just the UK. Like, what really just drove you to be like, you know what? Like, out of all the schools you applied to, what really just drove you to go just to the UK? Like,
Mm-hmm,
what
mm-hmm.
made you pick them? What was the final?
So for me, the it was the only school that like fully accepted me. And what I mean by that is like when I got, through my Yale auditions, I had gone through like the whole day. Like they have cuts throughout the day. At the end of the day, I was cut. So I was like, okay, I know I'm not moving on to the next round. And then like with NYU, I got to the finals, but then wasn't accepted. With UC Irvine, I think I got through the first round of auditions and then I got cut. So it was one of those things where it was like, okay, do I keep auditioning for schools in the US or do I take this opportunity? And so since I um, was accepted, I was like, you know what? Let's take this opportunity. And my acting teacher, my acting coach who helped me with all my monologues and stuff was like, Ayana, this is an amazing opportunity. Like, yeah, we don't know we know these schools, like we know the reputation of these other schools. We don't necessarily know the reputation of the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland. Well, now I know it's one of the top 10 art schools in the world. I know it now,
Oh wow.
but back
Okay.
then we didn't know. So it was like, okay, well, you know what, Ayana, take a chance. You got accepted to 2 master's programs. You can pick which one you want. And for me, the exciting part was moving to a new country. Like, I think that was one of the reasons why I picked it. Because I was like, wait, okay, I'm going to get my master's, but I also get to go live in I'm going to live in Scotland. Like, what? Like, what? So that was the pull for me because I'm
Yes.
also a traveler. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go live in a different country and get my master's degree. Why not? Why not? Yeah.
So with it
Yes.
being all right. So you saying you was going to school like 6 days a week?
Mm-hmm.
So how was your personal life? Like, did you have time to actually go experience Scotland?
No. So that is one thing I do.
She said, not really.
No, not really. Not really. We found time. We did find time. There were, ebbs and flows to the program, but most times we were in school 6 days a week. And we did have little breaks. Like we had 2 weeks off for winter break. So I went to Paris with another friend from the school who was like, I always wanted to spend Christmas in Paris. And I was like, let's go. Let's do it. And like there was a week off for the summer break there. So there were little breaks here and there, but I didn't necessarily get to explore the country of Scotland. So I actually wanted to go up to the countryside and like go up into the Highlands, but I never got a chance to. But I will say I explored the cities of Glasgow and Edinburgh. I got to explore the cities because I lived in the city. I didn't actually live on
Okay.
campus. I chose to get my own apartment. So I lived in the city of Glasgow proper and then commuted to school, which was only about 20 minutes. But
Okay.
I was able to get to know the city. And then I was in Edinburgh because that's a 45-minute train ride. So I was able to explore that city as well. So I will say I explored the cities, those 2 cities in particular, but I didn't get to really be a tourist. That is not what
Okay.
I got to do. So I actually do want to go back to Scotland and be a tourist and go, okay, well, what did I miss when I lived here? Because I was in school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was
Yes.
cool.
So we do have a question from Mr. Swag standing on Instagram. He said, did you find that the UK had more opportunities for actors and for black actors?
Mm-hmm. So I will say this. I was on a student visa, so I couldn't audition for any professional productions while I was there. And so I had to leave when my schooling was done. So my plan was to actually stay in the UK because they used to have a postgraduate visa where I could stay in the country for 2 years. And then when I got there, they were like, oh, yeah, that visa no longer exists. So you will now have to leave 2 months after you're done the program. So I stayed the 2 months, like stayed until my visa expired and then left. So in particular, I can't really answer that question because I don't know.
Gotcha.
After I finished my program, the UK was like, okay, you got to go.
Peace.
Peace.
I get it. I get it. Yes. So when it comes down to finding or auditioning for musical theater and things like that, because have you done Broadway? For some reason, I remember you saying something about a Broadway musical.
I've done an off-Broadway show.
Okay,
yes.
off Broadway.
But
okay,
I've been auditioning for Broadway shows, child, since I can remember.
Yeah.
Which one? Because I love Broadway. I love Broadway.
A lot of them.
I've seen Cats twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Les Miserables. Yup. I'm cultured.
Not yep. I feel like you patted yourself on the back with that comment. Yep.
He did. He
sure did. You ain't taking that away from me.
And did.
I seen grown people fell asleep in that thing. And I stayed up.
Did you? You liked it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I haven't been to like a play or musical in a long time, so I'm hoping to get back out there and get to some. But yeah, I love the opera. That was one of my favorite things. The opera and the ballet were two of my favorite things.
Oh yeah, and they're also great in Scotland. I used to go because I would get student tickets. The Opera House and ballet were literally across from the conservatoire. We get £10 student tickets, and I just go.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Because I've been to the Nutcracker. Like I said, the Nutcracker, fantastic. I enjoyed it.
Is it?
Like I told you, I'm cultured.
Boy, hush. It's the like I told you.
I'm cultured.
So what were the
what was your question? I don't even know what you were asking. Something about, was it auditioning?
Yes. I'm like, wait, what was my question? That you auditioned for some Broadway plays, or that you were in a Broadway play, but it was an off-Broadway play. Because I remember us talking and having that conversation about auditioning and things like that. And then I just, one thing that I want to say to you is that I absolutely admire the fact that you are open to all things, from our conversations when it comes to acting and things like that. I have noticed with you, you're like, well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a try. So what, as being a singing actress, what are some of the things that you have given a try and you was like, no, I don't want to do that again?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
I just feel like, sometimes people always talk about, I love this and I love that and I love that. But what are some of the things you don't love about being a singing actress? Or what are some of the things you like, I don't want to do that again?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's a good, okay.
And we don't got to get to the nitty gritty, but just,
you took everything. You liked it. You never fold.
You never. No, everything has its pros and cons. It really does. Yeah. But I will say okay, let me put it to you this way. I've done two cruise ship contracts. And the pro I always found was being able to travel and perform at the same time. That's what I loved about doing 2 musicals on a cruise ship. So I did the show After Midnight. It actually was on Broadway and then transferred to the cruise ship. And so with that transfer, they brought the Broadway show. So we had the costumes, we had the same Broadway director, we had all of that, but it was just on the ship. And so I loved that part, like performing and basically, honestly, traveling on somebody else's dime. Like if we're talking about it, like, oh, I'm going to be in St. Thomas today. Oh, we're going to be in Tortola. Oh, we're in the Bahamas and I'm not paying for it. Like you know, and then my second ship, I was in the Mediterranean. And so that was a newer ship. And we actually, we had rehearsal in Miami first. I was doing the show Hairspray. We had rehearsal in Miami for a couple months, and then they flew us to France to meet the ship where it was being built. So we were there for a couple of weeks, installed the ship, and they were also doing, and what I mean by install is installing the show, because it was a new ship. So they're building things around us and putting up the show. So setting the show that basically any cast that comes after us, they're just plug and play into what our cast, the original cast, set. And so they're installing the show, building the show around us. And then we like open the show, and then we go to our home port, which was Barcelona. So Barcelona was my home port for about 9 months. And I was there. I would have like get off the ship and like have brunch like in Barcelona, or like we'd be in Marseille, France as a stop. We'd be in Italy 3 days a week. So like that part was the best. I'm traveling on somebody else's dime. I'm sitting in a cafe in Italy right now, and then I have a show tonight. You know, like that part was the best. Being the crew member on the ship was not the best. It was fancy. It was fancy. I loved it. But the con is being a crew member on the cruise ship. And like there is unfortunately a they rule with fear, if that makes sense, of like you losing your job if you do something incorrectly. Yeah. And if I'm honest, coming with an American mindset, I'm like, okay, well, number one, I'm an entertainer, but also number two, I can go home and find another job. I'm not feeding into this fear. But with talking to other crew members who are from other countries, they're like, we operate different than that, Ayana. Like, this job is great for me. I don't want to lose my job. I can't find another job when I go back home. Mm-hmm. And so for me, that was so eye-opening, but also something that I didn't really like about working on cruise ships. You know, so I would say that's one thing that I was like, there's pros and cons to everything, you know, but I was like, I don't know if that's for me anymore, you know?
Looking at her like this. It's like, shh, she's messing it up. We're not with her. We're not with her at all.
We're not with her.
Throw her overboard. We're not with her.
And like, we didn't say that. We happy. We happy.
She don't know better. She don't know better.
Right.
No.
We happy over here.
We like it here. We like it here.
Listen, Ayana
it's
said,
wet over there.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Listen, pros and cons to every job.
She will be like, listen, I'm from South Jersey. Listen, I will. Listen.
I'm from northern New Jersey.
Oh my God.
Those are two different states. I just happen to live in South Jersey right now, but I am born and raised in northern New Jersey.
What part of northern? You said northern.
Northern. I'm from Essex County.
Oh, Essex County. Oh, okay. She's
Essex from South Orange. I'm right outside. I grew up right outside of New York. I just happen to live in South Jersey. I'm from the Oranges, baby.
She's from the Oranges, baby. I mean, she's a thug. She's a thug. That's why she didn't care.
Okay, from the Oranges, darling.
Hold on. She's not too far from Whitney. Y'all saw how Whitney get gangster. Whitney gets gangster.
Okay.
Wait, you know what's so funny is that they had this whole where we from kind of thing going on last week with our guest Farrah. She was from Brooklyn or somewhere, and he's from Philly.
I'm not from Philly. Stop! Don't disrespect me like that.
I'm sorry. You're from New York.
Yes, I am from Brooklyn. She's from East New. She's from East New York, and I'm from Flatbush. Yes, that's where it is. Yes.
Okay. Right, you gotta know where you're living. From.
Yeah, don't play like.
Listen, I be trying to remember, but it's a million things in his brain, and I'll be like, okay, I know you said somewhere over there on the East Coast. I met you when you lived in Philly.
They get cracking.
Okay, well, teach me something.
Oranges get cracking. They got their own lingo.
But I tell people this. South Orange is a suburb. You know, I'm from the suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be very clear. My best friend grew up in Irvington. And when I would go to his house, he'd be like, ma'am, I need to teach you how to act. So yes, I'm from the suburbs, but I know how to act in the hood. I
She
know.
said
Cause
she said
it
Irvington.
come out a little bit,
Hold
like
on,
if
hold on,
you
hold on.
listening, they
If you
come out
understand
right
what
there at
Irvington
the end of
is,
the sentences.
Irvington don't play no games. They don't play
Irvington
no
plays
games.
no games.
They
They
don't
don't
play
play
no
no
games.
games.
They're real
Nope.
silent. They're real silent
They
with
don't
it.
play no
They're,
games.
they're quiet killers. They're quiet killers. They play
Listen,
no
like I
games.
said, I'm from the suburbs, but I know how to act in the hood.
You see
Cause
how she says that? She
you
says it
gotta
so
know how
calm.
to act in both places, okay?
Hold on.
Gotta know how to
She says it
act,
so
okay?
calm. See, she's using her voice right there. I'm from the suburbs. I know how to act in the hood. You see, that's acting. Sex.
Boy, a mess. So outside of your singing and things like that, how did you
Mm-hmm.
translate or move into the space of voiceovers?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's make this long story short. So I will say, okay, actually I'm going to tie it back into something that you mentioned earlier, Leo. So
Okay.
about how, like I'm a person who's going to at least try it once. And if it don't work out, but I can say I tried, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I got cast in a show in 2019. Um and it was a friend. A friend was directing it, and I saw him at an audition, and he was like, "I didn't know you were back in the city." I was away. I was doing a contract up in upstate New York. Yeah, I was in upstate New York. And he was like, I didn't know you were back. I'm directing this show. And this was the off Broadway show. And he was like, I think you're perfect for it. And I was like, okay, sure. Send me the script. I'll talk to my agent. And so he sent me the script. And I remember reading it going, ooh, can I do this? Like, is this like, am I capable of this? And it was a two-hander, meaning just two actors. And it was on stage for 90 minutes. And it
Ooh.
was this play about their relationship as a couple, and their child gets killed in a school accident, and
Mm.
like how they're gonna manage their relationship and like finding each other again and all of that. And I was just like, second guessing myself. The imposter syndrome was kicking in. I've been doing this for how many years? How many degrees do I have in it? Like, Ayana,
Right.
you can do this. But the imposter syndrome was kicking in. But I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. And I'm so glad I did. And so with that, I transitioned into voiceovers during that contract. So what happened was opening night, some of my girlfriends came to the show, and afterwards they were like, let's take you out, like let's go out. And so we happened to go to this restaurant that was a couple of blocks away from the theater. I don't think it's there anymore. It was the City Winery next to Holland Tunnel. I'm not sure if it's still there, because I know they closed at one point. But we walk in, and it's about 5 of us, and we end up sitting at a table in the back, like this long wooden table, and there are 2 young ladies sitting there at the end, and we sit next to them. And so me and my girls, we're chit-chatting, yada yada yada. And Marissa, who is my now agent, is like, laughing and da-da-da. And my friend was like, well, since you two want to laugh, join our conversation. So the ladies just talking,
Right.
joining in and talking. And so then eventually my agent goes, what are y'all celebrating? And I was like, oh, I'm an actress. Like, cause I had flowers and gifts and everything. They like spoiled me. And she was like, oh, I'm a voiceover agent. And I was like, pardon me? What? And I was like, well, right. You don't say.
Right.
And so I was like, well, I'm an actress. I'm, celebrating my first off-Broadway show. And so we exchanged numbers. And about a couple days later, I'd say like 3 or 4, maybe might have been about 3. I emailed her just to be like, hey, nice to meet you. And my intention was to pick her brain, to be like, hey, do you have time for a coffee? I just would like to ask you, how to get into voiceovers. And with said email, she returns and says, oh, like, nice to meet you too. Do you have a voiceover demo? And I'm like, no, but I took a voiceover class a couple of years ago. I have the scratch recordings from the class. She was like, great, send them to me. Sent them to her. Maybe another 2-3 days later, she emails me back and is like, all the agents in the office love your voice. Would you like to start freelancing with us? Yes. Okay. Again, this is a give it a try because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, sure, why not? The answer is yes. And so she sends me an audition that day. Like the day I say yes, that night, she's like, great, here's your first audition.
Here we go. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
So they just push you in the deep end, huh? They didn't even care.
The
They was
deep
like,
end.
swim.
The deep end. Okay. I didn't have this studio that I'm sitting in right now. So my first audition was literally on an iPad with a blanket over my head. Like, that was my very first audition.
The sound.
To keep the sound.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I'm over there like, what are you talking about? What?
Yes, to pad the sound. And so about a month after I met her, I booked my first job. And we were still in studio at that point because this was August. No, I met her in August. So this was, I guess, September of 2019. So it was still in studio. And so that's where my voiceover journey started. Like, God literally handed it to me. It was like, here you go. You're going to need that because in 6 months, there's about to be a global pandemic.
Yes.
Yes.
You still could do voiceover in a global pandemic? Everybody's at 6 feet.
Well, this is where the home studio came into play. This is why I built a home studio in 2020 because it was going in that direction anyway. And then the pandemic forced it. Like, speaking to my agent about how this whole thing has like come about, she's like, it was our home studios where we were already heading in that direction. Like the industry was already heading that way. And so the pandemic sped it up. It just sped up the inevitable of like, we need people with home studios. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I got started.
So what is the essentials that is needed for a home studio?
Ooh, okay. So I would say a dedicated space. Like, luckily I'm sitting in a closet. So I have a walk-in closet that I can like fit in. But if you don't have a closet that's big enough, even if you can't fit your whole body into it, if you could just fit like yourself standing in it, that would be great. But a corner that you can dedicate to voiceovers would be a good option if you can't, sit in a closet. But a good microphone. I suggest, I have this Chaotica eyeball, and no, they're not paying me to say that. But this it encapsulates your microphone. And so you do sound like you're in a studio with this Chaotica eyeball. So it's a good microphone, a place that you can kind of make as quiet as possible. Because yes, you can cut out things in post-production, but you need your raw audio to be as like quiet as humanly possible. And yeah, I would say start with that, like looking, and then people are gonna ask, which microphone? There are hundreds out there. And so it's kind of testing which ones are good for your voice. Like, I had someone in like a voiceover group say, go to Guitar Center and literally just start talking into the microphones and see which ones are good for your voice. Because everybody's voice is different. If you have a deeper voice, you may not use the microphone that I have. If you have a higher pitch voice, you may not use the microphone I have. So it's finding the microphone that's best suited for your voice. And that is trial and error. So a way to do it without having to just keep shelling out money. When this guy said that, I already had my microphone, but I was like, that's a really good idea. Like, if you want to just like test out microphones, I'm like, right, Guitar Center, just go there and start like talking.
Go in there like we used to do back in the day when you used to go in the stores and play with the radios. Just go in Guitar Center and do the same thing with the microphone.
Just walk around with like mic check, 1, 2.
Mic, yeah.
1, 2.
And then one of the things too, you actually have to listen. You got to listen to how you sound, because That's the
Yes.
best part. That's the part of it. It's like you have to know what sounds good. Even though like you just taking a shot in the dark, you still have to know how you sound and if it sounds good enough for you.
Yeah.
But and that goes with being a podcaster too. So that's the only reason I know that tidbit of information. It goes along with being a podcaster and having your equipment and figuring out which mics work. I have like 4 mics in my closet.
Yeah, I was about to say that she got nothing but mics. She got a lot of mics. She got a lot of mics.
I only have one, luckily. One extra one that I'm not using.
She got like about 6 of them.
I won 2 actually, not last year, but the year before at the Afros and Audio Podcast Fest. I won one from Girl Get Visible. That's with Aquila. I did. She was giving away a Blue Yeti, so I have the Blue Yeti, and then like the contest that they were running on the website for Afros and Audios, ended up winning that too. So I have a Hill Sound microphone as well. Then I have the previous microphone that I bought off Amazon just randomly, so I have that one. But you know, a lot of podcasters might be mad, but right now I'm currently using my Apple earbuds because
disrespectful.
With all their microphones.
Because all of the microphones microphones,
and she's using Apple products.
I'm using my earbuds. And that's just because they're easier to kind of move and groove with. They're easier to move and groove with. A lot of times I'm on the go. So even if I'm not at home, I can easily pop them out of my bag, pop it into the laptop, and I still have good sound. So don't fight me, y'all. I know y'all want to because I'm using my earbuds. But once I get everything in order, I'll be able to actually get my mics in order and sit down and set up my little studio space because I've been moving and then getting in here and then I'm always on the go. So yeah, it's coming together. So I have like those mics and then I have like 1,001 little lapel mics. I have all kind of equipment in my closet. It is just like the top shelf is like a podcaster's paradise in there.
I love it.
I love it.
Tripods galore. All kind of stuff.
Mic. That's it.
I need to get a lapel mic.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get an expensive lapel mic so I could be like this.
Oh, so you can look even more cultured.
Yeah, so I can be called. See, if you're gonna say it, you're gonna have to say it correctly. I'm cultured. So you gotta do the whole thumbs up on the back. No, you don't.
Hilarious.
Don't be mad because I want to go see Les Miserables and I stayed awake through it. That's a journey. You have to follow
it is. It's a long show.
It's a long show. They don't understand it.
It's a long show.
It's a long show.
Just the name make me want to take a nap. So I'm pretty sure it's a long show.
The only show I enjoyed watching was The Lion King. I'm sorry.
You said that's the only one you enjoyed?
I like fully. Yes.
It's an experience. Yeah.
Yeah. The Lion King. That was it.
It's an experience.
Like Cats. Yeah. I lost myself and I had to get caught. I was like, what happened? And then somebody actually took their time out and explained it to me, and I was like, oh. What?
Not you got lost and had to figure it out.
Yeah. Cats is something you get lost in and somebody got to will you back in. No.
Oh, okay. Okay, then.
But then again, like I said, nobody can tell me nothing because guess what? I'm cultured.
You're cultured.
Boy, bye.
That's his catchphrase all night.
Listen, that's gonna be his catchphrase. He's gonna get on my nerves this week with that catchphrase. He's gonna text me randomly. I'm cultured.
I'm about to put it on my Instagram. I'm cultured.
Oh Lord.
With a thumbs up. Pat.
And I'm gonna block you just for that reason.
No, you're not. So, hold on, where's Stretch at? Stretch. That's the.
He's not on here yet.
Put it in the group. We are cultured. Pat. That's it. Stretch is on it. You know.
Anywho, he's probably on Instagram. He's probably watching from Instagram. But Ayana, so
Yeah.
One of the things that I remember in your presentation at the Afros and Audio conference
Mhm.
was figuring out your sound, your voice's sound, tonage, all of those kind of things.
Mhm.
Can you give a little snippet of how people can know how their voice is or the descriptors of their voices, but
Mm.
also how they are able to find what jobs work best for them if they decide to get into voiceover?
Ooh, okay. So how do I want to answer this question? Because I could separate them or do them together. So the first thing I would say is to I would say discover what type of voiceover you want to do first, because that can help direct you. And I say that because there's so many choices. There's commercial, there's narration, there's audiobook, there's animation, there's um
Ooh.
um e-learning. There's so many different types of voiceover, but I would say pick the one that interests you the most and start going down that path. And so, for instance, I'm heavy in the commercial world and I'm just getting into audiobooks. Um, but narrating an audiobook is different than doing a 30-second commercial. And so, in the commercial world, reading the copy and the voice descriptives is, let's say they say, okay, we're looking for a female voice that has a little bit of authority to it, but can sound like your best friend, someone who you trust, someone who you would listen to. And you have to, in essence, know, is that me? Like, is that my voice? And so I would suggest that you just record yourself, like on a phone or a computer, whatever device you have, and just record yourself speaking, just so you can listen back to your own voice, whether it's you want to like read a book to yourself, or having thoughts out loud. You know how sometimes you have thoughts in your head? Well, just practice saying those out loud. Just say them out loud and record them to yourself, just so you can literally just hear your own voice, and then go, okay, what does my voice invoke for me? So when I'm speaking, what is it that I'm feeling? What is it? Oh, do I sound like I have authority? Do I sound like I'm giving you advice? Do I sound trustworthy? Do I sound happy? Do I sound sincere? All of these things you can get from listening to yourself. And then once you do that, it's a matter of knowing your voice and then transitioning to what the client and producers are asking for. So, yes, they may want a trustworthy um voice, but they want you to be conversational. And so that's when those, like, are you directional? Like, can you take directions comes into play. So it's my agent gave me this suggestion, and to this day it works. It works. Where it's like, who are you talking to? If they're asking you to say this commercial conversationally, they don't want it to sound like an ad. They want it to sound like you're talking to a friend. But
Yeah.
be very specific. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to Leo? Are you talking to your sister? Are you talking to your mom? Because that little difference of who you picture in your mind, your voice sounds different.
Yeah.
Your voice sounds different. And it's not a drastic difference, but there is a difference between me talking to my mom and talking to you, Leo. Like
Yeah.
there's just a
Tonage.
difference.
Yep.
It's the
Yeah.
tonage. And it's
Yeah.
that simple that it's like, oh yeah, I believe that she's talking to her best friend, because I am actually talking to my best friend when I'm saying this ad. And so for the commercial world, I've been seeing that a lot of, like, we want it conversational. We don't want you to sound like you're doing a commercial. We want you to sound like you're talking to your best friend or your coworker. Because even that is like, it's a little professional, but it's still like, oh, I know this person. Like, yes, I work with them, but I still know them. They're not a stranger. So your tone is different. But it's also, for me, even learning with audiobooks now, audiobooks is even more about who are you talking to, but really who are you connecting with? So it's more of like,
Mhm.
hey, come sit next to me and let me tell you this story.
Yeah.
I would like to let you in on my world is more where the audiobook comes into play. And that's a different, that's unless a commercial tells you that's what they don't want that. And
Yeah.
so it's if you focus on the portion or section, what I want to say, like the section of voiceovers that you want to do first, I think it'll be easier for you to find, okay, what should I concentrate on? And so if it's a commercial, then it's like, okay, maybe I take a commercial voiceover class where it's repeatedly reading different copy and going, oh, okay, they want a trustworthy sounding voice. Okay, they want a voice with authority. Okay, they want a voice that will command attention. Great. But if you want to go into audiobooks, there are also audiobook courses as well, but they're going to teach you more of the let's look at the intention first. Why are you reading this book? Who are you reading it to? What is the story you want to tell them? If they were sitting next to you, how would you like tell them this story? And then again, animation is a completely different world. Like I know we were talking earlier about Disney, you want to be a Disney villain, Moses. Like again, but that's animation. So my agent submits me for animation because I'm a theater actress. So I just pull on
Yeah.
my musical theater skills when I see a script for animation. But then there's also anime. Like there's so many different voiceover lanes that it's not a blanket. So you would have to
Yeah.
pick whichever one you want to pursue first. Doesn't mean you can't do all of them. It just means you have to concentrate on one first so that you can then like, okay, what do I need to focus on in building the skills that I need for either audiobooks, commercial, or animation, and so on and so forth.
Because, yes, Moses wants to be a Disney villain.
Yes.
And
He does.
he was working on the laugh. Go ahead and get him to laugh.
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I
Oh,
got it.
you was giving it, you gave it to us, getting people to laugh.
We
I
got
was.
it.
I never did anything like no such thing. No such thing. Stop putting me out.
Lies and deceit. Mm-mm-mm.
Ooh,
Listen, tell
ooh,
them lies and
ooh,
deceit.
Mm-mm-mm.
ooh.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So
Okay.
when you do an
Because we
audiobook,
got
how
the
many times do you
Disney
have to read the book?
laugh.
Mm-hmm.
When you do an audiobook, how many times do you have to read the book?
Uh-huh. So the goal is to only have to read it once.
Uh-huh.
And so with that, there is prep work before you do a book.
Uh-huh.
And you are, looking up vocabulary words. You're like, how do I pronounce this word? Let me make sure I pronounce this right. You are going through characters if it's a fiction book, because if it's a nonfiction and memoir, it's only one person. Or if it's a children's book, then you're looking up characters. So it depends on the book. If you're, looking up characters and developing different character voices, or, if it's a memoir. So I'll go with a memoir if it's, just one person. And so with that, it's reading the book a couple times. And so that you're understanding that person's perspective. And so the goal is to read the book as the narrator just once. But then with that, once you send off the chapters, there can be retakes. So let's say majority of the book is, okay, Ayana, you're golden, but hey, can you retake this paragraph in chapter 3? From this line to this line. Okay, we just need a retake of you in chapter 8, paragraph 2, da 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 da. And they'll, tell you what you would have to retake. But the goal is to only have to read through it once because you've done all of your prep work before you start recording. And of course, there's the pause button when you're like, okay, I need a break. Now, maybe I'll go back and reread this paragraph, but that's also in the narrator's control. I'm pausing for a second. Let me clear my throat. Let me go have a sip of water. Let me go stretch my legs. I've been sitting here for 2 hours, and then let me start again. So the goal, Moses, is to only have to read it once and then come back with retakes if the editor and producers are like, hey, can you retake this section?
Okay. All right.
That's good stuff.
What's
I'm
the
trying to
longest book you
figure
ever had to
out.
read?
Huh?
What's the longest book you
Say it
ever
again.
had to read? What's the longest book you ever had
The
to
long. For work, I actually haven't read that long of a books, but I've been, practicing, kind of like an athlete, like a marathon.
Mhm.
So I think the longest one I've read out loud, and I just recorded it for myself. I didn't. It's not like someone else actually narrated the book. But the longest one was oh, I can't think of her name. Quinta Brunson, right? That's how you pronounce her last name?
Quinta Brunson.
Yes.
Brunson.
Yes, Quinta Brunson. What's her memoir called? She Memes Well. She Memes Well. So that's the longest book that I've read in my like practice of audiobooks, but as like a job, it's been more of like 5 minutes or like 6 minutes, or we need you to read this internal like pamphlet for said company. And so I'm now actually transitioning into audiobooks. Like I want to be like, hey, I want to narrate a full book. And so that's the longest book I've read in rehearsal or practice, if you will. And it was a lot. It's like, wow, this is a lot. Okay. Here we go.
Alrighty.
I think I'm trying to find my groove. Cause I am one of those people that when I listen to my voice back, I'm like, oh, I do not like my voice. But
Ooh,
there are
yeah.
so many people who be like, oh my God, I love your voice. Oh my God. And I'm like, I like my voice when I'm talking, but when I listen back to it, I'm like, where did country come from? I sound so country. I sound so southern. And I was like, where does that come from? And I never pay attention to it as I'm talking. But if I go back and watch some of the older shows, I'm like, is that me?
I think Leo does great. I think Leo does great. Open word, spoken word. I think her spoken word is
Why,
on
thank
top
you.
of everything. Like I like when
Yes.
she does it.
Mhm.
She really, it really like she knows how to flow with that. So with that being
Yes.
said, I think you do great work at that, Leo. That's beautiful.
Thank
I've
you.
never heard you
I'm
do
still
anything better than that.
learning. I'm still learning my voice. And even when we took the class at Afros and Audio, and Ayana was just describing the ways to take care of your voice. And no lie, I've taken so much of that, just that one session, and I've applied it to podcasting just in general because
Yes.
this is the longevity that I'm looking to have. And if I'm looking to have that, I can't have my voice gone all the time. I can't have my voice in and out or up and down and being sick all the time and stuff like that. So I've been doing my best to take care of my voice. The only time I've been sick was towards the end of last year. And when I say voice was gone, I was talking like this, and it was out of there. And I was like, and
Yeah.
I mean, for weeks, like weeks on end, I was like,
Mm.
okay, I guess that was God's way of telling me to shut up.
Like you need to
But
rest.
so that's what I took it as. Girl, go lay down. Go do something else. Stop talking.
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be a
Gotcha,
Disney
Big
character
Daddy.
though. I don't care what y'all
Thank
say.
you,
I'm gonna be a
Sky
Disney
Daddy.
character. I'm gonna be a Disney character. Tell you
I
what.
want you to be a Disney
There it
character
is.
I'm gonna be a
because
Disney character.
I want to do two people. I want to be Ursula
Mhm.
and I want to be the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland.
What?
Ooh. Yes. I'm
I
here
did
for
that one
that.
time in high school. I did it once in high school and we didn't even get to do like the full thing, but I was supposed to be the Cheshire Cat in high school. And I was so looking forward to that and I so want to do that because I just feel like that cat was jazzy and attitude. Like the attitude was
The
who you
attitude was
talking
there.
to? Yeah, it was so much attitude with the cat. And I'm like, I could do that. And that was the reason why I got chosen for the part because of my attitude. Like not attitude, but the whole essence of me. And she was like, yeah, I want you to be the Cheshire Cat. And I was like, yes, because that's one of my favorite characters. So those two, I
I
definitely would
love
love
that.
to do that. I would definitely
Oh,
love
great. I
Pretty
want to be a
sad.
Disney princess. So
Yes,
I just
I
want to be
can
a super
definitely
villain.
see you as a Disney princess. First of all, not just cause you're gorgeous, but the voice, like your voice is like calming, it's welcoming, all that kind of stuff. I can see you as a princess. I can see you as kind of almost like a Tiana, Princess Tiana kind of vibe.
Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm gonna be the super villain of all super villains in a Disney movie.
And you know what, Moses? I could see you like the dude from Princess and the Frog, the Voodoo Man.
Wow.
What's his name?
I can't think of his name, but I can. That's a compliment.
That is a compliment. He has a great voice.
He had a great voice. That's what I said.
He had a great voice.
Who you said again? I gotta go look.
The Hoodoo Man from Princess and the Frog. And I can't even remember who played his character for real. Let me see.
Neither can I.
But it was, let's see. Hold on, because
what was his name? Find it. I know. Now I'm thinking about it.
Oh, Keith David, the guy from. Hold on, I'm gonna pull him up.
I know that name.
Him. This guy.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yep.
Yes, I definitely want his voice. Yes.
Yes. He was the Hoodoo Man.
Okay. Yes.
He was the He was.
What was his? What was the
witch
name?
doctor?
Yeah, but he had a name. What was his name?
Dr. Facile. That's the only thing it say on here. Let's see.
Dr. Facilier?
Yes, Facilier. That was his name.
Okay.
And also, I'm like, yes, I loved it. I loved him. And of course, Jennifer Lewis's Mama Odie was also my favorite too.
She's always epic. That's another book I read for practice, just for practice. I haven't, really? she narrates her own book, but I had to pick it because taking the audiobook course, I was like, I want to read somebody's book. I read hers. It's hilarious. It's a good book.
Yes. Okay. So I have one of her books. I bought it. I'm one of those people. Like I buy books and then like I'm gonna read it eventually. So I have that book.
You gotta read it. It's really good, actually. It's really good.
Yes, I can believe it because even her interviews are like hilarious, but they're motivational, they're inspirational, all of that good stuff. Yes, he was the voice of Goliath on Gargoyles. Yes, and I love Gargoyles. I still watch Gargoyles to this day. I still watch Gargoyles.
I wish I had time to watch Gargoyles to this day. I really do.
It's on Disney Channel. I watch cartoons before bed. I don't watch regular TV before bed. I watch cartoons before bed every night.
I want to know what channel do they play. I really want to go back
Disney. On the Disney Channel. DuckTales.
Darkwing Duck.
Yes, Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale. All of those are on Disney Channel.
Say less.
Yes. So, not only his voice, but also Freddie from A Different World. She has done so many voiceover.
She did?
Freddie from A Different World. Hold on. Cree Summer, that's her name.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm gonna tell y'all because some of the voices, I was like, wait, that was her. She was Elmira from Tiny Toon Adventures.
Was she really?
Yes. She was Elmira. She was Susie Carmichael on the Rugrats.
Really?
She was on Clifford the Big Red Dog. She wasn't Emily Elizabeth. She was Emily Elizabeth's friend.
Wow.
Cleo, that's her name. She was the black girl on Codename Kids Next Door.
Mm-hmm.
She was on. Who was she on? As told by Ginger. Hold on.
I'm still stuck on Rugrats.
Yeah, she was Susie Carmichael.
I knew they were all adults, like that much I knew, but I didn't. Oh yeah, she was Susie. I love that.
Yeah, she was Susie. It's And I happen to know like some of hers, since I've seen. She was in the movie Atlantis. I don't know who she played in that.
Mm.
Um, Tiny Toon Adventures, Inspector Gadget, Spirit Rangers, Patrick Star. Who was she playing in that show? She was in Mario Brothers. Who did she play in that? Because I just saw that.
Hmm.
That's wild. She has so many movies that she's done that I was like I had to look that up because I knew she was Susie and I knew she was the girl from Clifford. I knew she was Cleo on Clifford, but I had to look her
Okay.
up because she has done so many different voiceover jobs over the years. And then I love Regina King as
Oh,
Boondocks.
Bone Boondocks. Yeah.
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 I just love her voice. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yes, she has an amazing voice
The
too.
simple fact that she could
So
do that though, I'm not gonna hold you. When I found out that was really her, I was like, yeah, that is her. Yeah.
if you
Hmm.
listen, you can hear it, like you can tell that's her, but it's just a little. So I love that people are able to change their voices and stuff like that, and so that's the part. I'm like, I want to learn to flex my voice like that,
Only
and
person that
it's
can't really.
it's beautiful to see that, like how people can like something that you came into this world with, you can just use it all the time. Like so, yeah, I'm gonna just go talk. I'm
Hmm.
gonna go flex my skill set and talk in this mic and make all these voices and do all these things. And
Hmm.
yeah, I just got to take care of my voice. I just got to show up. It's
Show
like you
up.
don't have
Yep.
to do
Take care of your
nothing. I
voice.
just got to show up. They know my voice, so that's really
Right.
dope. And then
Right.
lastly, you got a podcast. Let's talk about your podcast. Come on,
Well, let's
talented
talk about
woman.
it.
Let's talk about
Thank
it. The
you.
Artist Pivot Podcast. Let's talk about
Yes.
it. About the podcast.
So the Artist Pivot podcast is in essence uh conversations with artists talking about lessons learned and pivoting in the industry and surviving and how to do it, and also knowing that the blueprint's different for everybody. So
Yeah.
I'm always like, okay, what's your nugget of wisdom to give to other people? And in that, take what resonates with you and leave the rest, because everybody's
Mm,
journey is very different, but also very similar. And so it's, what can I learn from this person? What can I gleam? What can I, oh, but also they're going through it just like me. Oh, that's very similar. Even though their story is different, that part is similar. And so the podcast came out of um the pandemic, really. In 2020, I was at here at home. I built the studio for the voiceover purposes.
mhm.
And so I was like, well, I already have the setup. I want to talk to my friends. I want to talk to fellow artists and colleagues. And how are you pivoting right now? Because our industry is shut down. So what are you doing? So it started with, how are you pivoting right now in the pandemic? So like, what are you going to? Some people went to yoga, and I had another friend who started her podcast. So I interviewed her about her children's podcast, and all these people
Yes.
went to these different things. And so it's like, we always pivot to continue our artistry. Like, we pivot to continue and to find um what we need to fulfill us. And so as the seasons have progressed with the podcast, it is about pivoting to survive.
Yeah.
And even with that, it's more of like, well, how do you then thrive? Because it's an industry where you're going to have to go with the ebbs and flows. And how do you do that gracefully? How do you do that taking care of yourself mentally and physically and spiritually, and like knowing that nobody is going to like care about you as much as you care about you? And also saying no to things when they're not
Ooh,
what you need or in alignment. Saying no, because that's not the only job available. and coming out of scarcity mindset and going, oh, well, if I don't accept that they just cast me in this, but if I don't actually want to do it, but I'm accepting it because no. So it's also pivoting that and realizing how much artists can be in lack and scarcity mindset because of opportunities or perceived lack of opportunities or only limited opportunities. And so it's also about, okay, let's pivot our mindset here. Number one, you can also create your own stuff. Not saying it's easy because it's not, but you can create your own stuff while you're also waiting to maybe be cast in a show or cast in a movie or cast in a voiceover. Like both and you can have both. You can create your own stuff and then also, participate in the, hey, but I do want to be cast in someone else's show. Great. There is nothing wrong with that. That's actually how this industry runs. But to put all of your eggs in one basket is maybe not the best way to go about being in the industry. And that's what the artist pivot is about. It's like, okay, so here's my story. Here's what I did. Here's how I pivoted. And, like I came up this season, I came up with a definition of a pivoting artist. And it's a creative person with skills to change and keep their artistry evolving. And so that's what it's about. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Come on now. So I'm gonna just tell you now, you in my business, because when you talk about an artist pivoting, like that's why I love the title, because it's just like that's the space I'm in right now, trying to figure out, because I'm myself and Moses as well. We are both creatives. You're trying to figure out all of the stuff with social media, all of the things with still creating your craft and doing it in such a way that you still love it. And sometimes that's hard. And so the other day, I actually had the opportunity to have a conversation with some artists that are OGs in the game. And so they just started dropping little nuggets, and I was like, I could go cry in the car now because I don't feel bad as an artist because I haven't created in so long. And they were just like, sometimes you just don't have it. Sometimes you just don't have it to create. Sometimes you just don't have it. And that's okay. You just have to know how to navigate through those spaces, because it does get hard. It does get irritating because you want to do something that you love, but you don't have the capacity to do it. You don't have the space to do it. You don't have the mindset to do that thing that you love so much. And it's like, oh, thank you. I feel seen. I feel heard. I feel understood because I've been wanting to create. And then when that flow starts coming, like no lie, right now it's a tarp on my floor with 3 canvases on it. Like, and then on my table to the right of me, it's 2 jackets and a bunch of paintbrushes and stuff on the table, because when the flow comes, it's like a tidal wave of energy. And so, yeah, I don't know what's gonna come of all of these things, but when the energy started coming, I was like, let me throw some paint around. Let me get to it, because you never know when the flow will stop. But this within itself, the what you just said made all of that come together, and like, okay, yes, thank you, confirmation. I appreciate the confirmation. And that's just a reminder to other artists as well, like, keep going, but also know when to take a break, know when to say no. And we don't have to take on everything that's given to us or offered to us, because a lot of us do that because we do have the scarcity mindset, because we are out here starving artists. And I don't like to say that either. We are thriving artists. So
I ain't starving.
Thank you.
9 to 5.
thriving.
Yes. There you go. Like, but also it's dismantling that. Like, who started that starving artist in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
Like, yes, being in the arts is hard because we're battling systems that set up for us to work for other people for the rest of our lives. And if you choose not to, if you choose to try to create your own world, your own ecosystem, it's a little bit harder. But why are we called starving artists? Like no, I don't accept that. I don't accept that.
I don't accept that
Yes,
either.
it's hard,
I agree.
but
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
Accept
accept
that.
that. Like
Yeah.
for
We have other.
what?
I think we have other hurdles we have to, hop through. Like adding
Mhm.
more to what we already have to go through is just asinine to me. So I'm
Mhm.
never gonna call
Mhm.
myself something that I know I don't need to call myself. Like I'm not a starving artist at all. Because at the end of the day, I still hustle
Mm-mm.
hard,
Right.
and by all means, we all find our way to $1. Once your back is against the wall, you'll get to it.
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh, you will.
You will get to it.
You will. But that's also talking about A plus B doesn't equal C. And so I think a lot of it with artists is, well, if I do this and then I do this, this is going to happen. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
baby, it's not. That's what I've learned over these last 16 years. It's not. What you need to do
Mhm.
is just focus on yourself as a person and your self discovery and also your self acceptance. You have to accept that you're multi hyphenated. You have to
Woo!
accept
Come on.
that you can do multiple things. You have to accept that you're capable of doing it all and then do it. And yes, everything has its place and its time. And yes, you're going to have to use your Google Calendar to keep everything straight, but you have to accept that and be okay with that. Because I think people are afraid to go, I'm multi hyphenated and I do all of these things and it's okay.
When your throat, when you get that look, that was a ooh.
Nah, she went in. She went in. But
She
by all
did,
means,
and I'm
she
like,
went in.
oh
She went in.
Lord,
No, she just emptied the whole clip. But by all means, it's the
for
facts.
real.
She just emptied the whole
Came in.
clip, but it is facts. Like, sometimes
Sheesh.
you just have to like really believe in yourself, even though nobody else believes in you. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and even though, and be
Mm-hmm.
honest, that's why I'm saying you can't call yourself a starving artist because that's a struggle within itself. You believing in yourself just to do
Right.
what you need to do to like. Come on, now, stop it.
And you're
Right.
speaking it. Like when you call yourself that, you are speaking that into existence for yourself, which then creates the scarcity mindset. So no, I am not
Exactly.
a thriving artist. I am a
I would
thriving artist.
when I got into
Right.
photography, they told me don't call myself a, a amateur photographer.
Mm-hmm.
One of the photographers I started talking to give me pointers. He's like, "No, you're not an amateur. You said you shoot, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "You got a camera, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "No, you're a photographer.
I agree with
Don't
that.
call yourself nothing else. You are a photographer. You are doing. You are not posing. You're not faking. You're investing. Who who's gonna call you an amateur photographer? And if anybody else ever try to call you an amateur photographer, punch him in the mouth." I was like, "Whoa, okay, say less."
Mhm.
Punching him in the
That
mouth
was
is
great
what I.
advice.
Listen,
Yeah, that was
That was
it
great
great
advice.
advice.
was because even the self acceptance part, like, somebody called me something. What did she call me?
Aspiring? Was it aspiring? I hate that word.
Aspiring, yeah.
Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. It was a good thing, but she called me a creative consultant. I was like, oh, I like that. I never thought of myself in that
Mm.
way. What is that? That sounds fancy.
Mhm.
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna add that. I don't know what I'm gonna tell people that is, but I like the way that sound. I like the way that sound. And then, on the flip side, then you have people who have conversations and say, there was a former friend of mine that was introducing me to someone, and she was like, "Oh yeah, and he's a real artist."
Uh,
What do you mean?
You clutching pearls? We clutching pearls today? You clutching pearls?
Now I was holding that's what it was. I was holding myself back
the
from
what?
taking my earrings off and giving her a couple of skippity paps. Cause I was like, wait, what do you mean? And I never went back to it because I was like, if I go back to it, it's gonna be an argument. It's gonna be a tussle because I feel like you coming for me. And you did come for me. But now I gotta just that's why you're a former friend. But because don't put little in front of nothing that I do and then don't downgrade none of my
Ooh.
experiences.
Oh,
Don't do
say it
that.
again. Say it again. Don't put little
Don't
in
do
front of
that.
when you talk about yourself, not
Nothing.
little nothing. Or when people say, "Oh, what, how you little singing?" Oh no. Mm-mm.
Guess what? That's how you start.
Mm-mm.
That's how you start auditing your circle. Anybody that want to be
Yep,
like, that's how you start auditing your circle. How your little business
absolutely.
doing? Oh, word, that is
Yeah,
little. You're out. I'm gonna delete your number right there. How's your
that's
little
it.
photography business doing? Delete.
Oof.
Um, and guess what? When you call me to do work, you're gonna get paid that big invoice instead of that little invoice.
Right. Instead of that
That
little
part.
invoice.
That's how
That
we
Okay.
part. You
are.
get
Like
my full on price. You
my
not
full
getting my
on price.
discount. You
I
getting the
don't even
full
know you right
price.
now. Yeah, because
Right.
it is what it is. But
Listen.
that's how you really start auditing your circle. Whoever wants to try to belittle you and try to think
Yeah.
that you don't know what they're doing, you let them know
Mm-hmm.
right there. You know what? Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm. Ja.
because
Right.
people we won't it takes so much because a lot of times people don't realize or don't even understand the conversations you've had to have with
Mm.
yourself in order to
Yeah.
get to a place of labeling yourself an artist or
Yep.
labeling yourself a singer. No, I just sing. And then stop throwing just in sentences where you talk about yourself. Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
I just, do one part. No, take just out of those sentences because you are minimizing what you do.
Yeah.
It's so many ways that we have to learn to alter and edit the conversations we have, the way that we describe ourselves, the way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we entertain what other people call us.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop minimizing and stop letting other people minimize you as
But
well.
it
Like if
takes
somebody say little, nah, baby, hold on. What you mean? Because sometimes that silence makes them think that they are winning, in that
Mm-hmm.
space. Nah, baby, hold on, let me correct you.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing little.
it's always
I
a
do
battle
all
within
things
yourself.
big.
It's always a battle within yourself because
It
like when you
is.
start off, it is a battle within yourself to be like, oh,
Yes.
I'm a photographer. Oh, or I'm a singer. Oh, I'm a Disney supervillain. It's a battle within yourself. And you see, I'm not saying I'm an aspiring Disney villain. I'm gonna say I am a Disney villain, and that's what I'm going for, and that's what I want. And now that I know I probably could get it, I'm going for it.
It was
And
just the way you just threw that out there. Like,
Right. And listen, I'm here for it. Okay. I am here for it.
listen,
Claim
me
it
I
and
was
too.
name
gonna,
it.
Okay,
and
I'm
then
Okay.
mad
I'm
at
like,
you.
listen, I gotta read this script. How do I do my like? Do I have to go oh, like, break it
That's your
down?
choice. That will be your creative decision.
Oh, thank you. See, that would be my creative decision.
But it's true. It's a battle within ourselves. People, especially as artists, we don't realize we're our biggest cheerleaders, but we're also our own worst
Oh
critics.
no, we are our
Mhm.
worst.
We are
It's a,
we will
look
stand in our way every day of the week.
every day, every day. I've taken pictures where it took me about on the average. If you're gonna edit a picture for a photographer who knows who's like, all right, boom, I'm gonna knock it out. It'll take you like a minute per picture. I have
Mhm.
edited pictures over. Like I'll finish editing, go back and re-edit, and be like, I don't like it. I'm gonna delete it and re-edit again. Like it'll take me 5 minutes to edit one picture because you get caught up in your head because you want perfection. You're
Right.
so
Right.
focused on perfection. And then the crazy thing about it, the picture that you re-edit like 5 to 6 times, you spent like 10 minutes on it. Guess what? The customer didn't even like it.
Mm.
They wanted the original edit that you just
The
took.
original.
The
Yep. They
original
be wanting
edit
the
that took you
original.
a minute to do.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted. And you over here like, I'm gonna get creative. I'm gonna throw a Lambo and a tank and this in this picture, and they're gonna love it. Nah, they ain't, no, they just wanted their regular picture. They wanted to
Mhm.
look regular degular. And here you are
First of
messing
Mhm.
it all
all,
up.
don't ever add no Lambo and no tank in the background of my pictures because we got to tussle after that. Unless it's a movie.
look, don't ask, don't
This
look,
is a
don't,
movie cover,
no. When I
But they
do my
wanted what your
Disney villain,
natural eye saw.
like when I do my Disney villain picture, like yeah, I'm definitely throwing a Lambo in there because that's gonna be my Disney villain car, a Lambo. But
Hmm.
that's gonna be your villain card. Okay, then
right,
I
yep,
ain't
a
mad at
Lambo.
it.
Right.
But one of the things you just said, like editing over and over and over again, that was one of the tidbits advice that the OG artist gave to me. He
Mhm.
said when you finish a painting or a canvas or even editing and you look at it, he said where you still trying to figure out if you want to do more or do less. He said leave it somewhere where you can see it, where you can look at it,
Mm.
and then walk away from it. Go on, do what you're gonna do. Come back to it, look at it again. And if you keep saying to yourself, "No, it's done," and if you say it's done more than 3 times, then it's done. Don't add nothing to it.
Mm.
Don't take nothing from it. Don't keep trying to, put on to it because you'll end up trying to make it fit your like your desire for it. But then you might add too much, and now don't nobody want to buy it because it's too much. Because your audience is not you. You are
Uh-huh.
not your audience. Your audience is the people who you want to purchase it. So you got to be mindful of when your spirit say stop. When the ancestors tell you to stop sprinkling the salt, stop sprinkling the salt.
It's
So
mhm.
leave it
Mhm.
where it is, and then stop always trying to, like you said, the perfection. Stop always trying to make things perfect and whatnot. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you ruin, not only you ruin yourself, you ruin your own ego doing that. Like I've learned that the hard way. I've ruined my own ego or my own
Listen.
craft, like just by overdoing something that I know I was good the first time, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna push this one. No,
Right. Let me
then
just do it one more time. Let me just
one more
do it
time.
one more.
One more time.
I mean, but that's any part of the industry. Like y'all are making me think about when I audition for voiceovers. If my agent sends me something and I'm like, "Oh, okay, they want 3 takes of this." And I end up doing 5 or 6 takes and I'm like, "Oh, wait, which one? Okay, wait, I'm just going to re-record." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. You have to stop, Ayana." Like I've given myself a limit. If they say they
that's
want
good.
3 takes, you can record 6 and pick the 3 you like. Or if it's a
Okay.
self-tape, like let's say like I'm submitting for a musical, you can only record that take with your scene partner up to 3 times. If you do it the first time and it's golden, great. But you're allowed only 3 takes. That is it. Because you'll
Ooh.
drive yourself crazy. No, no, no. I just have to fix that. I just have to fix this or adjust that. And it's like, it was perfect the first time. Or perfect. I put that in quotation marks. It was
Mhm.
great. It was enough. It was showing what you can do the first time.
Don't downgrade it. It was perfect the first time. Let's start playing. We ain't downgrading nothing. It was perfect the first time, and you want to go mess it up with
Right.
the 4 more takes. Don't play. Don't
Exactly.
don't play with me.
Exactly.
It was perfect.
Yes. I ain't
Yes.
mad at
Yes.
perfection. I'm not mad at perfection.
Nah, but it really,
Um.
like that's what I said. We don't need the outside noise. That's what I'm learning right now.
We
I need
have
to
enough
cancel
noise
out the
here.
outside noise
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
I'm already my worst. Like I said, I'm already my worst critic. I don't need
Mhm.
nobody else. Nobody else.
Mhm.
If
Yep.
you can't
Um.
support me or cheerlead me, we good. Deuces.
Calvin Wayne, that's watching on Instagram, he said, "Leave your artistry aside for regular client work, unless it was asked for. Keep it simple."
Mm.
Absolutely,
Cal-
absolutely.
Calvin is a dope photographer too. Very dope photographer. I love his work.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
a lot of us forget to kiss.
Yeah.
A lot of us forget the kiss method. We forget that, and we be trying to do extra
Mm.
on extra on extra. I'm naturally extra, so I'm always trying to do extra.
Same. Right. I'm
He
always trying
said
to
I'm
do extra as
naturally
well.
extra.
Right. But you know what I think that comes from? Us thinking that we're not enough. That we have to
Oh,
prove that, keeping it simple. If we kept it simple and just did it, if I'm already enough and I'm going to execute this thing, whether it's a song, whether it's a painting, whether it's a photograph, whatever it is, keeping it simple, oh, great. I can keep it simple because what I am doing is enough. I am enough to do
ooh,
this. but we keep trying to do it over and over and over again because it's like, well, I think it's an imposter syndrome. Wait, was that good? Am I enough? Did I do it well? Did I do? And it's like, yeah, you did it perfectly fine. Actually more than perfectly fine. It was amazing.
Get out my head, Ayana. Get out
I
my
was
head.
just about to say, girl, why you in my business again? Ooh.
Get out my head. You all up in here like whatever. I ain't paying you for this therapy session. I already paid my therapist this week. You ain't getting that dime out of me. Get out my head.
But it is so real, and it's also good to be like to have the confirmation, because it's like you said, I'm not the only one going through this. I'm not the only one dealing with this in my head and in my heart and trying to figure these things out. It is good to be seen. You know what I'm saying? All of us probably like, oh, I can breathe a little bit, you know. And I love that that's what your podcast is about. I love that that's how you get people to understand, like, oh, everybody's on different levels, but we are all struggling. And I actually saw something today. Hold on, I'm finna read it because that kind of goes with what we're talking about. It says, no one knows what they're doing. Nobody. Not even the ones with degrees and big job titles and more things than you. Not even the people on your vision board. Everyone is just trying loudly, failing loudly, and trying again. And so should you. That's the F word for the day. That's good. And I had to steal it because I was like, oh, thank you. Because some days I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway.
Right. You're going to figure it out. And I agree with that. Nobody really knows what they're doing, but I do think that there are people who've learned a little bit and they make wiser decisions so you can learn from it. So it's like, yes, my mentor or that person on my vision board may not know exactly what they're doing, but that wise decision to maybe follow their intuition or fire that agent or sell that painting or sell that photograph, I can take that nugget of wisdom from them. Like, yes, there is no manual to this thing, but I do think you can, like, again, it goes back to like trusting yourself, especially as an artist. I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to trust my intuition. I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to trust my inner wisdom. And I think that will help you in I don't really know what I'm doing, but I think you can, like, you're like, no, but I know that I can trust myself.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I do know. I can trust myself in making my decisions. I can trust myself in putting myself out there as a photographer, as a creative, as an artist, as an actor. That's the part I can trust. But I think there's a lot, and in talking to other artists, like on my podcast, there is a lot of, again, it's the outside noise saying, you can't trust yourself. You have to do this and do that and do this. But it's like, no, if I just trust myself, I'll get the next step. And I think it's also that we're trying to see the whole staircase. And I raise my hand. I am the person. I'm like, but I want to see the whole staircase. And there are times when it's like, you just have to see the first step. Like, what is your next step? And it doesn't mean not to have goals. It doesn't mean not to go reach for the stars. It just means don't have anxiety about the next staircase. It's just, what's the next step? Like, literally, what is the next step you have to take? Okay, great. Take it. And what's the next step after that one? Okay, great. Take it. Because it's like, we have to remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, you know, like, people, and then you look at people with these long careers. Like, who was it? Cree Summers that you just read? Like, how long is her career? Like, you know what I'm saying?
From
that didn't happen
different world. Right. Because A Different World came out, what? In the 80s? Late 80s?
Yeah.
Wait, when was the first episode of A Different World? I think
it was in the late 80s. It was like, no. Was it? Yeah, it was like 80s. Because I know The Different World was a spinoff of The Cosby Show, right?
1987.
Yeah.
87. Hey, that was my birth year.
Okay. That's like 30, almost 36
6.
years. 30,
Almost
almost
30, no,
37
37.
years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, wait, wow. That shows 37 years.
Wow. That's
Hmm.
crazy.
But right, talking about her, she's been in this
Longevity.
thing for 37 years and probably
I'm just
more.
saying,
When I don't
Freddie.
even know when she
I was
started
about
it.
to say, and probably more, because she probably was a child actress or started before she got her chance at a different world. So
Mm-hmm.
Freddie
yeah,
been
y'all
popping.
make sure keep trusting and believing in yourself, and that's another good point. Just like the whole trusting yourself and knowing
Mm-hmm.
that you are enough. Ooh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Ha! Somebody said
Mm-hmm.
making me feel old as hell. Who is that? What is that? Let me see. I hate when it doesn't show up as the actual person. It shows up as a Facebook user on here. Oh, that's Tamara. I don't want to say her name wrong, but I think it's Tamara. I always forget how to pronounce it because I don't think it's Tamara. Tamara sounds too much like right, and that sounds too easy. you know, when you trying to remember somebody's name, like, no, I don't think her name was that easy. I don't think it was that easy. I
Not
don't
at
think
all.
it was easy to remember.
Nope.
See, she said I was right. It was Tamara. See, I remembered because Tamara was too easy.
She should get
Because
a.
I would have correlated.
She should
I
get
would
a
have
T-shirt.
correlated her name.
She should get a
I
free
would have
T-shirt.
correlated her name with Tamara Mari, and my brain didn't
Mm-hmm.
do that, so I knew that was not right when I said Tamara. So, but yes, ma'am. Listen, you came up in here and gave us all the good gems on voiceover and even just being an artist, y'all. Remember, like this gift that you have, it wasn't given to you for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of us that are out here hiding some of our gifts because we scared, and yes, I'm saying we, because it's some of them gifts over here that's tucked away. That some of my friends like, oh well, be grateful for the people who push, but
Mm-hmm.
also just know that those steps you want to take, those leaps and bounds that you want to take, they not on your heart for no reason. It's meant for you to do them. It's meant for you to move in that direction. Go ahead, boo.
Mm-hmm. What I was gonna say, just to add to that, because I to this day I still like keep this little phrase with me. So I was talking to my therapist, and it's we as human beings get prepared for a big decision or a big leap or a big artistic move. We're putting on our parachutes, we're packing it, we're getting ready, we're like, okay, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and then we jump and we realize it's a 2-inch sidewalk, and we didn't need to do all of this stuff and have all of this anxiety to take one step off of the 2-inch sidewalk. So like remember when you're trying to like, oh, I'm gonna do this, just do it. Also, like Nike says, no, they're not sponsoring this, but like they say it, just do it. Like, just do it. Like in the end, just do it.
All
Just
right, so
do
we're just gonna put a hashtag so Nike can just get wind of this.
it.
We're just gonna hashtag this
So
one
that
so they
they
can
can
get wind.
sponsor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They
Just
can't
so
sponsor it.
yeah. I don't even want. Listen, Nike. I don't even want some sneakers. I don't even want money. I just want some sneakers. Listen, you gonna send me Jordan
Listen, I'll
one
take
through
some too.
14, a size 11. We're great.
not 1 through 14.
Just send me, 1 through
Said just
14.
one of all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. One of all of them.
Yeah, you don't have to even look. You can make them all the same colorway too. All the same colorway. I'm not picky. No, I'm good with black and white.
Because what would be the point? I
Just
want
do
all
it.
of the colors.
Just do
But
it.
yes,
All
just
of
do
them.
it.
Just
Get
do
out
it.
Hold on,
here and take the leap.
everybody,
Take the
hashtag that
jump.
right now. Just do it, so Nike can get wind of it, and we can get some Jordans.
Yeah. Because
Or
I
Air Max
only own one
G70s.
pair. I only own one pair of Jordans.
What?
Only own one pair. Yeah.
Listen, that sounds like a personal issue. I'm trying to get the whole colorway, so stop playing. I'm trying to get from 1 through 14 for free.
I'm just saying I only own one pair because
I can't.
it was a decision last year because I had never bought Jordans before, but that's neither here nor there. But I want to thank you, Ayana, for being out here this evening.
You're
Listen, this
so
was
very
an
welcome.
absolute pleasure. This is an absolute pleasure. And not only was it a pleasure, it's also confirmation. And it's that extra little gut punch that I needed. I think we all
Glad
be
I can be
needing
of
them
service.
gut punches. Listen, thank you. It
Mhm.
was a firm but gentle punch. And I needed it. I think we all need those reminders that what you are doing is of purpose. What you're doing is
Mhm.
for a reason. And if you wake up every morning and continue to think about how you can make something that you're doing better and greater, and it's always on your heart and it's always on your mind, it is not by chance. It is not by happenstance. Like, that is the thing
Mm-mm.
that you're supposed to be doing. That is the thing you're supposed to be doing. And even when you are confused and you don't know what the hell you doing or how you gonna keep going, just keep
Mhm.
going. But remember to surround yourself with people who will never let you forget who you are,
Yeah.
whose you are, and that you are always enough. Okay?
Just do it.
Okay.
Period.
Just do it.
Period.
Just do it.
Do
Just
it.
do it.
Just
You
do it.
are
Okay?
enough. Period.
Period. Not comma.
No.
Period.
Period.
Okay? So, Ayana, tell the people how they can connect with you, darling, how they can check out your podcast and all of those
Yes.
amazing things.
First you can go to my website. It's ayanabay.com.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
AYAN.
website, y'all. It's
Thank you.
beautiful. And she is gorgeous. Like, she is just as gorgeous on her website as she is on here.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. So yes,
So,
ayanabay.com, my
Ayana.
website, everything is linked there, but also on Instagram, I am at Ayana Mbae, put my middle initial in there. I also have a podcast Insta at The Artist Pivot. But if you remember nothing, ayanabay.com, everything is linked there. So all of it's there. The podcast merchandise, my coaching, my acting career, my voiceovers, literally everything is at ayanabay.com. So if you're like, what were the handles? I don't know what's happening. Um, all at ayanabay.com or on Insta at Ayana Mbay, podcast Instagram, The Artist Pivot. And yeah, you can get the podcast anywhere, all major platforms like Spotify, Apple, what else is there? Everything.
All of them.
Like
Listen,
all
because
of them.
sometimes it's hard trying to remember all of them. You
Listen, I
like,
just send people the pod link. I just send the pod link so that you can click on whatever, like, because I think there's like 20 or so like players
so
that's linked.
many.
Here's
It's
the
so
pod
many.
link. You pick the player you want because there's so many.
So many. Well, y'all make sure y'all go check out Ayana's website, follow her, subscribe. Y'all gonna see her in some big things, some big amazing things sooner than later. I'm speaking that because I just see that for her. And
Thank you. I
listen,
receive
make
it.
sure y'all, if y'all need coaching and all of that good stuff, if you want to learn how to get into voiceover acting and all of that, check her out. Cause I'm telling y'all, she's an amazing, like, she is to the point. She not gonna tell you no lie. She might tell you a joke, but she ain't gonna tell you a lie. I'm gonna tell you that. So she gonna make sure that you know what you need to know, that you get the information that you need, and that you are successful at what you're doing because that's what she does. So make sure y'all check her out. AyanaBay.com, the Artist Pivot Podcast, all of those great things. We thank you for being here tonight, lovely. It
You're
was a
so very
pleasure.
welcome. Thank
Him
you.
and him and this
We got the
villain
laugh.
laugh. We got
This
the
villain
laugh.
laugh. We got the laugh, y'all.
He said, "Let me go ahead because I am enough." Period.
Okay.
Well, wait. We forgot the word of the night. I'm cultured.
Boy,
Oh
get out of here.
Lord.
Oh Lord.
That's our next hashtag. I'm cultured.
Right,
I'm
I'm
cultured.
cultured and just do it. Those are the
Just do
hashtags
it.
for tonight.
Just
I'm
do it.
That's
cultured
it.
and just
Mhm.
do it.
Mhm.
Hilarious. Well,
Oh
thank you
man.
again, darling. Make sure y'all go check her
Yes.
out, ayanabay.com.
Woo!
Okay, see you later, gorgeous.
Woo!
Yep. Have a good one, boo. Make sure y'all go check her out, ayanabay.com. And if y'all didn't get out of them gems, just rewind it. Just go back, play the whole show over, and get all of that good stuff that she got for you because she is absolutely amazing. We only got 20 minutes left in this thing. Let me tell you something. We gonna get into one hot topic that I saw. We just gonna do one because all of that good stuff, I don't even know what to follow up with. But I just want to get into this hot topic because it was uh, a few questions on my timeline today about this topic. It was. I'm gonna just play the video. Here we go. Is this a video?
What?
What
That was
happened?
fake?
Yeah, I thought it had some voiceover or some sound to it, but the woman that was in the viral brick assault video, she is charged with fraud after allegedly raising 42K on GoFundMe. Yeah, prosecutors note a history of false assault claims. So not only has she done it once, she has a history of false assault claims. And y'all know, in this time of record and post, she decided that she was going to post that and say that someone hit her with a brick. And this time she got caught because she was out here putting up a GoFundMe, had the whole world feeling sorry for, feeling bad for, all of that. And this baby scammed $42,000 out of y'all people with the bleeding hearts.
Wait.
Because she had a sob story. She told y'all what her story was. Um, so Ayla said, wait, so how did her face get like that?
Yeah, that's the
From
question. Like, what happened to her face?
from what I read, she had an allergic reaction to something, and that's what caused her face to swell up on the one side.
But
She
that
was never hit with a brick. She was never like nothing, no assault actually happened to her. So she was out here recording and doing all of this stuff about the assault, this, that, and the third, or whatever. What was the rapper name? Willie D, I think. It was a bunch of people going to her defense, and of course, that was one of those topics where it was black men against black women. Black men need to protect black women, and black women need to stop. Da 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 da. And it was a whole uproar,
so
and here we are. She was lying.
so in a nutshell, we can honestly say you ladies are actually taking big L's this year because this is the second time y'all lied about something this big. You know what I mean?
Who
Uh,
is y'all?
I'm just saying the women culture, the women culture. Yeah, y'all taking big L's, big L's.
No, they took big L's.
Yeah,
They.
I'm, look, I'm just
Don't put
putting it
us
out
all
that the
together.
female
Don't put us
species,
all in a group. They.
y'all taking big L's here
Who is this?
because y'all all got that Jesse Smollett type of syndrome going on right now. Because y'all just want to lie about some crazy shit. I don't
Who
get
is
it.
the other person?
The one that said she got kidnapped. What was her name?
Carly,
Yeah,
the Carly girl.
yeah. This one lying
Yeah,
about getting hit in the face with a brick, and like,
but you can't say this year because both of them happened last year. It's just
but it
padding
don't.
out.
This one is still a big L for the female species, and then y'all
It
want
definitely
men to protect.
it's a big L
Oh,
for her.
big L for
Because I don't know why you would lie about something like that. But then again, like we discussed on Thursday Night Live, it's females out here. I think it's called like a domestic violence challenge or something, some kind of crap where these young
create.
ladies are
No,
getting
no. No.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. I'm out. Nope. Nope. No. 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 No.
Yeah.
No.
They
No.
out here like taking pictures of themselves after fighting with their dudes or starting fights to see if it'll happen. I'm gonna look it up, but I can't remember. I'm gonna have to ask JT from Thursday Night Live. But he was saying like how that's what's been going on. It's been people just posting random craziness. And I'm like,
Domestic violence
why?
challenge? Is that's a
I don't even
thing?
know that's what it's called. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's a bunch of young ladies like recording themselves with like black eyes and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, are you really in a domestic violence situation or did like what's what?
Was that was that makeup?
Because then again, I don't know. And that's the thing, like you don't know these days. But that's also another reason not to be believing everything that we see on social media because people go above and beyond to lie. But then when people are actually telling the truth, it's like you don't know who to believe anymore. And that's why some of these people have not been found because they don't believe us when we say this person is missing or
I'm just being real.
it's
Like,
so much happening and it's so much like being swept under the rug. But one of the things that we aren't still talking about is the fact that there are so many black women and children missing, black and brown women and children missing, and nobody's looking for them. And they keep
but
saying, don't nobody know where these people are, but y'all don't know where they are because y'all not looking for them. Nobody's looking for them.
but you got but like I said, it's just like due to these two little situations. Like now, you just gotta be like protect. All right, people want us to protect women. All right, cool, but we gotta protect men too because like now you just randomly lying, saying somebody beat you up just to get money, and like who is she's gonna point that out to? Who hit her with the brick?
She was saying like she was a group of dudes or something. She was saying like it was a group of dudes and she walked through them or something. I don't see. That's how you know I don't be paying attention to all of the hoopla stuff. But I saw this like 3 or 4 times down my timeline about why nobody was talking about it. Or then I saw that actual video and I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this because that's a lie. The reason that she got caught was because she was in Puerto Rico on vacation. She was recording herself and she was posting videos. That's how she got caught. That's how she got caught because she
Oh
was up here
man,
posting
I
videos.
can't. You can't
She was
make this
posting
up.
videos. Yep, she
You
was
can't make
posting
this up.
videos online of herself on vacation.
You won't be all
And
up in
that's
the videos with a fat face brick. Come over to death row. My bad,
because I
Snoop.
mean, I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You did all of this, and now what? Now you finna go to jail, Cicely Tyson, because you sat up here and lied, and now you're going to jail.
And what you don't understand, the city like now the police department, they're feeling some type of way because the pressure's on them. We like you gotta understand public of opinion. They goes deep with the police department. So now you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna hit you with that restitution. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm, 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 mm.
And it ain't
You
gonna
thought
be
when you
light.
owe you thought when you owed your taxes was something. Wait until you get hit with a restitution. You can't get nothing. No license, no passport, no.
Cause you can't go nowhere.
you
Absolutely
you
nowhere.
can't go. You can't get registration for your car. You can't do nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Like, look, I don't know. Were they bored that night?
I
Um,
don't know.
I don't know. I can't like. Oh no, like I don't know. What it's not. Is it still dangerous just to be black in America? Like I'm just being honest. Like you just gotta make up new shit. Like
Cause
oh
I don't know. And then And then it's just like you said, we have to protect women, but we also have to protect men, because this is those kind of situations are exactly how men lose their everything. Like, I've seen enough Law and Order SVU, because y'all know that's my favorite. But I've seen enough of those episodes that even in real life, where a man is accused of rape, he never raped a girl. He's accused of it. Like, his job, his career, like everything attached to him is torn into pieces. And then when they find out that he didn't do it, that she was lying, now the shit
It's
show
too
comes back
late.
to a calm, and his life is already torn
It's
apart.
too late.
And he can't regroup from that. He can't
Men are
recover from the fact that somebody lied. And now it's like, did she really lie? And then it's a whole, and the rest of his life is a shit show because
remember,
she
remember,
lied.
black men are guilty until proven innocent. It's not we're not innocent until proven guilty. We are guilty until proven innocent. And then
Mm-hmm.
we have this thing called public opinion where that weighs 20 times heavy on anything. That's it. It don't even matter. You're guilty. That's done. You're done.
Because you're a predator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
You're
You're a
done.
predator
You're a
off
predator
top.
off top. So like now it don't matter. Social media already showed your face a couple of times, and social media detectives, they are the best detectives in the world because they
Baby,
will
listen.
find. Listen, man.
They need to get some of these social media detectives out here to
Social
find these
media
black and brown
detectives
kids
are
and
the
women.
best
Cause
detectives in the world. I don't know what are they doing. I don't know why we're not paying them. I bet you they know they could find the body of John Benet Ramsey because apparently the cops couldn't and the dogs couldn't. So give it to social
let
media
me tell you
detectives. They're gonna
something.
find it. They're gonna find out when R. Kelly peed on that girl. They're gonna know. They're gonna know when he did it, what angle he did
Not
it
R.
in,
Kelly.
how he did it. I'm telling you, social media detectives are the best. I
And they
can't.
gonna find
They're
everything.
gonna find everything. Mm-hmm.
I know a social media detective. I'm not gonna say her name. But when I tell you, if I give her some information, she gonna come back with some information. I'll be like, hey, I need you to look this person up for me. When I tell you, she gonna come back with a, oh yeah, he got this and he got that, and then they got this and this that. I'll be like,
Listen,
girl,
social media
what I
detectives.
owe you? Did you pay for this information or did you get it for free? Cause she'll go looking in this,
Listen,
and she
like
come back
now
with a whole little rundown.
you cannot lie on a listen. If you got a good social media detective, keep them in your back pocket. Matter of fact, I am recruiting social media detectives right now. Please hit my.
I might connect you with mine. It may cost you a little. It may cost you a
Like
lot,
cost you a lot, but it's
but
gonna
it'll
cost
cost you. But it's
you.
gonna
Like
cost
a
you.
social media detective. I don't know what's going on, but they vicious.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like when it comes down to situations such as that, we gotta stop giving people so much room to set not even just setting black people up. They be setting the world up because people be believing them. People be believing like that the predatorial type of situations are happening more often than not. That's just like people believing that it's not a lot of active black fathers, and it's the total opposite of what I know in my life. Like, I know a lot more
I just
active.
read the statistics on that. There are a lot of black fathers.
It's a lot of active black fathers.
I was
Like,
like, wait a minute. Let me read the
black fathers are even more active than other cultures and in their kids' lives, and so people always want to spin the narrative that they're not, and that ain't the truth. That is so not the truth.
Listen,
Um, Black fathers are totally active, and I love how black fathers are active, like because they're not traditional. They gon' even the little quote unquote little hood guys, they become daddies, and they really love being daddies. They do some of the most hood with their kids,
I'm not gonna hold you.
but it's because they
I'm not
love
gonna
being the
hold you.
daddy.
I know a couple of street guys that are fathers, and I've seen some crazy differences. Like it changes them. It changes though. I commend if you like. I commend that. That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting it. But like I said, it's just too much. Like now, when somebody told me they don't watch the news no more, and I agree with them. I don't want to watch the news no more. It's just too much
Yeah,
nonsense.
well, I don't watch the news either. Like, I don't even watch regular TV for the fact that I don't want no reality. I don't want none of. I deal with reality every day. That's why I go to bed watching cartoons or something comical. I don't watch a lot of serious stuff all the time. And even when I do, I gotta watch something funny or relaxing or childlike at the end of the day because I need my mind to be rested. I can't go to sleep after watching Law and Order all day. Cause do you know what's gonna happen in my dreams? You know how much those scenarios are gonna replay in my mind? And it's really people out here that go to sleep to stuff like Snapped. Ma'am, what? Criminal Minds. What?
I was really a nut for a minute. The SVU dum dum was actually my text message alert.
The most. Doing the most.
I had them until one day I was like, oh no, I gotta change this.
I mean, I wouldn't even mind that as an alert because that'll be funny. But I'm just talking about the fact that you watching it like before you go to bed.
But that's the thing. I watch SVU. I watch SVU repeatedly. I don't care. That thing could be on. I watch the marathon. I'll watch every single episode.
I love that.
But
I love the marathon.
For that to have the ringtone and then you watching the TV and you don't know if your phone is going off or listen. I was doing too much. I put myself in the corner for that. I'm doing too much. Change my ringtone.
Nah, because I'm gonna turn on Martin, the Flintstones, Tom and Jerry.
It's kind of weird. Every time I call you, you are listening. You are watching some type of.
I'm watching cartoons. Like anybody that really knows me knows that my cartoons are always on.
Every time I call you for something, I was like, "Where the Flintstones?" What? Wait, or the Jetsons? I'm like, what?
The Jetsons. I pay my Boomerang bill faithfully so that cartoons are always ever present. And now they got Tom and Jerry and the Flintstones and stuff on Tubi. So it's free. Yes. Thank you. So yeah, cartoons are always going to be on over this way because I don't need the reality. Like I need to decompress from everything. Remita up here talking about she watched Bones. Then sleep meditation. Girl, go. Good day, ma'am. I watch Bones, then sleep meditation videos at bedtime. No, ma'am.
She kills people.
No, she is literally a pink Care Bear in real life that throws glitter. That is literally her personality. Now, not to say she don't think about it. Not to say she don't think about it. I'm just saying I ain't never seen her do it. Yeah, she's literally a pink Care Bear in real life. But yeah, no, I'm not that person. I cannot watch any of that, and I don't watch the news. Won't watch the news. And I get my weather from my phone or from my Echo Dot. That's it. I'm not watching TV. If something happens in the neighborhood, well, I'll just have to find out through conversation or scrolling Facebook. Because other than that, I'm not watching the news. But I did want to discuss that little topic real quick because it was a couple people talking about it. And I think it was on the D.L. Hughley show yesterday or the day before. But they were just talking about how she was in Puerto Rico or somewhere living it up, living her best life off the $42,000 that she gained from that GoFundMe. I didn't even know GoFundMe was still a thing out here in these streets. But
what you talking about? Hell yeah, it's a thing.
Apparently it is.
That is the hood's life insurance policy.
I mean, but I haven't seen. I'm just saying, like, I haven't seen it like rotating as often as we did when GoFundMe first came out. So I didn't even know like people were still out here donating heavily like that. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe. Sure. But it's always crazy. It's always crazy when like it'll be something like that and people just run it up. But if it's something like a business, they give you $2. you end up with $2 out of 20,000 that you trying to raise. But they be over here getting scammed out of the money, and then when it's really somebody who's in need, y'all never really get it. That's crazy as hell. Y'all just better get on here and start telling them sob stories, y'all. No, don't. No, I'm lying. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't scam nobody out of no money. But listen, thank you again to our beautiful guest, Miss Ayana Major Bay, for stopping through and dropping all of those amazing gems about voiceover. And like, if y'all didn't watch it from the beginning, go back and watch it, because she gave y'all a little story, and she gave y'all some good gems on how to get it cracking. And also, if you don't think your voice is nice or beautiful, or you don't really like your voice, like I don't, I like my talking voice. I don't like listening to my voice, but it's something out here for everybody, if that's your thing. So figure out your niche and roll with it, baby. Run that bag up. And thank you, Moses, for rocking with me tonight. Definitely. We did good, boy.
Yeah, we did good today. We did good.
Tag team, double Leo energy on here tonight.
You know. Oh, are we gonna say? I'm gonna say happy birthday to Pablo. Happy birthday, Pablo.
Happy birthday, Pablo. It's too many Aquarians.
I'll be at a strip club right now and doing something.
He is
crazy.
at dinner with his mother. He's at dinner with mom. Hope you're enjoying dinner with mom. It's too many Aquarians on the PGC team. I've had to say happy birthday like 6 times this week, or between last week and this week. So happy belated to Auntie Genesis. Happy belated to Dom King. Happy belated to my twin. His birthday was yesterday. He's not really my twin. We 9 years apart. We look exactly alike. To my biggest brother, my big brother. His birthday was yesterday. Who else have I had to say happy birthday to? It's a lot of birthdays. A lot of January birthdays with people that I'm
living right now in Genesis. Yeah,
January and February birthday. Genesis' birthday was last Tuesday. Pablo's is today. My brother's was yesterday. Dom's was yesterday. So happy birthday, all you Aquarians. It's too many of y'all, and I can't remember everybody's birthday. Ayla's is next Saturday on the 3rd. So yeah, that's as far as I'm gonna go. Happy birthday, y'all. Just in case I don't remember to say it after today. I be trying. When Facebook give me the notifications, that's why I be like, yeah, it is their birthday. Happy birthday. But yes, happy birthday, all of you great peoples. Again, thanks, Moses, and thanks, Ayana. We finna get up out of this thing. We want y'all to have an amazing evening. And again, y'all know what I always say each and every time. Whatever you do for the rest of the evening and the rest of the week, don't do it with your half ass. Do it with your whole ass. All right, y'all. We up out of this thing. Make sure you share, follow, and subscribe to the Phat Girl Chronicles, PGC Media, and PGC After Dark. Remember, the aunties are on this week. We come back next week. All right. And we talking about healing the Black man's heart next week. Okay. Whew, that's going to be deep. I don't think I'm ready.
I just want to hear what you got to say about that.
Listen, come on there. You did good last week. So come on in next week.
Are you going to pop in? I'm going to pop in. You
going to pop in?
How y'all plan on healing the Black man's heart?
It's not a plan. It's just, it's just a conversation of how us as Black women can help y'all to do that. We not trying to do it.
Oh.
It's so for y'all to do it.
Y'all break it and then y'all just want us to. Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
I don't break hearts. Y'all break y'all own hearts having expectations of me. Bop. That's how that's going to go. Yeah. I don't break hearts. Y'all be out here setting y'allself up for failure. I'll be telling y'all who I am from the beginning. Y'all just be scared of all this magic and marvel and wonder and rainbows and shit. So that's on y'all. But this shirt will soon be available on the website, along with all of our other merch. Listen, y'all gonna see me wearing a lot of merch, and when y'all see it, just know that it's coming. It's coming soon. All right, it's coming soon. We
Oh
got
yeah, I'm coming out with my own
podcast
merch too.
merch,
My own
Leo
PGC shirt.
merch.
Coming out with my own Moses PGC merch.
Okay, all right then. We're gonna put that on the website too.
Yeah.
And all proceeds will go to PGC. But we out this thing, y'all. Have an amazing evening. Love on somebody, love on yourself, and know that you are enough. Period. Okay? We up out this thing. We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. And make sure y'all check us out next week. We'll be back.
Bye, Coach Coco.
You gotta do it with your whole ass.